Hello everyone. Today we have a classic of the Japanese automotive industry. The Nissan GTR is a very good car of 2010. We're watching it, maybe we'll buy it, but judging by my first impressions, I think it's not worth buying it. Why now I will tell you everything. Once again, the Nissan GTR is a very cheap car. They ask for only 25,000 euros or $28,000 for it. What's wrong with him? First of all, 100,000 kilometers of mileage, this is a lot for such a car. But both by its appearance and by its entire condition, it is clear that the car was not very loved. It was poorly maintained, therefore such a price for such a legendary car. Again, it is covered with some kind of strange green film. According to the documents, he is black. Look, his thresholds are also black. The interior is somehow altered. But, in general, now I'll show you under the hood why I don't like it. Well, as they say, I like everything. I don't like the price, but I like the price here. I don't like the car. The car is of course cool, but buying a Nissan GTR in this condition, is of course not a Ferrari, but spare parts also cost a lot of money. And of course, if this car breaks down, then most likely you will not earn anything on it. You will most likely lose on it. But there is still a suspicion of problems with the gearbox. Well, in general, you understand that all this will be expensive. But, nevertheless, this is a live classic in front of you for very cheap. You see, yes, these are clearly traces of a previous accident. Well, in general, everything here suggests that he got into accidents and got into them more than once. Yes, there are some strange dents here. It feels like the engine shifted back with a strong impact, and simply dented the engine shield. Plus, there are some strange seams here. The same headlights. Please note, there are problems with lenses here. Obviously, these headlights were restored, but they were also restored, of course, not very much. Regarding the originality of the run, it is also a very controversial issue. By the way, there is something lying around inside the headlight. Well, that is, it's not very good. I think that you are unlikely to pass a technical inspection on such a car from the first time. But there is of course a good point. This is its price. But what do you think? Is it worth buying this car for this money or not? Look, the brake discs are overheated and heavily worn. The wing flaps. But there's obviously some kind of problem with them because they don't get into the wing. This is a problem with either the wing or the underwing, or both. But once again, a very cheap Nissan GTR. The rear brakes need to be changed. They are also overheated. The rubber is so-so, but also the very moment that I always don't like, what will be hidden under such a film. It's just that when you take this film off, anything can be there. Take a look, yes. There is a strange gap between the fender and the bumper. Most likely, there was some damage here too. And, to be honest, it's just scary to shoot the film. I think that everything will be very bad under the film. But again, there are people who are not confused by this. But I think that if you are a sane person and you are engaged in cars, of course, you will not buy such a car. But it's just not serious. Nevertheless, this video clearly shows what you can buy in Moscow and for what money. True, it was not today, it was a couple of years ago, but nevertheless in Moscow such options periodically come across. As a rule, such machines are used by scammers who are trying to get money from an insurance company. Constantly getting into accidents on such cars because they have very expensive repairs. They have very expensive spare parts. But you understand that after such people, you just can't buy such cars. Not for any money at all, because this car is likely to ruin you. But we are like sensible people. We will not buy this car, and I do not advise you. Here's an example for you. You definitely can't buy a good Nissan GTR for cheap. Most likely, you will only buy the problem. We don't want any problems. We have something to do. Well, accordingly, that's all I have so far. Subscribe to my channel. Please like it. All bye.